Dear student, I am Mr. Essenja from NGM Public School. Today I am going to deal about pressure. What do you mean by pressure? What do you mean by force? First you try to know about pressure and force. Both are related to each other and both are physical quantity. This is the subject matter of physics, and in physics these two physical quantities are very important, force and pressure. First I will define force. What is force? First you try to define force. Force means that external condition. In our environment we know about two types of phenomena. Two types of phenomena means some are in rest position and some are in motion. And we already know that our planet Earth always revolves around the sun. And the earth revolves around the sun. Sun is the center of the universe, and all the things, all the matter that is present on the earth, that also revolves around the sun with the motion of the earth. So we consider that what is difference and how can we define, how can we understand that some bodies are in rest and some bodies are in motion. For this topic and to explain about this topic, that when we can say rest and when we can say motion, one body will be in motion when it is displacing its position in respect of its environment, in respect of its surrounding. Suppose any types of matter, as like that chair, as like that table, and suppose one book is lying on the table, then we can say when we displace a book on the table, then we can consider that that book is in motion. That book is in motion. It means it is moving and it is displacing and it is changing its position with respect to its surrounding, like chair and other objects present around that book. And when we are not pushing and when we are not doing such type of activity, then we can say the book is in rest with its surrounding, in respect of its surrounding and all the objects present around its surrounding. So we can say, we can consider all the bodies should be in rest and they will be in motion according to their displacement, according to their movement in respect of its surrounding. So it is clear that rest and motion both are two topics. Rest and motion. Rest and motion both are two topics, and when a body is displacing itself in respect of its surrounding, then it will be in motion. Otherwise it will be in rest. So it is clear that when you can say that body is moving or it is displacing itself according to its surrounding object, then that body will be in motion. And if it is not displacing itself according to the surrounding, according to the object present around it, and when it is not displacing itself, then it is said that body is in rest. So it is clear that what is rest and what is motion. When it is displacing itself according to the surrounding, then it will be in motion. And when it is not doing as like that, then we can say rest. Rest and motion both are relative terms, and we cannot consider one without other. Rest cannot be considered without motion. Motion will not be also considered in absence of rest. Both are respective terms. And we all know that the whole universe moves around the sun. So sun is the center of the universe, and we can consider that sun will be in rest position, and all other objects, they are already circulating about that center, about that fixed position that is known as sun. In this way, we can say all other bodies which are already revolving around the sun, so all things and along with its earth, all are in moving condition, and we can say sun is present in its rest condition. So then here we can consider that how many types of motions are found, how many types of objects when they are circulating, when they are going on, what type of motion they are carrying, what type of motion. We can say that motion is divided into three parts. Motion is divided into three parts. One is known as translatory motion. First is known as translatory. Translatory motion means when it is going on a linear path and on a straight path, then we can say that motion will be in translatory motion. And second thing is that circular motion. And third thing is that rotatory motion. So all types of motion, they can be classified into three parts. One is translatory motion, and one is circulatory motion, and one is rotatory motion. When a body is moving on a straight line, and when a body is moving on a circular path, on a circle, on the circumference of the circle, or circle like any type of object, any type of substance. And one is rotatory. Rotatory means one body is circulating around a fixed. One body is circulating around a fixed axis. One body is moving around a fixed axis. All these are types of motion, and you can say motion is divided into translatory, circulatory and rotatory. Already you know that when a body is moving on a straight line, on a linear path, then it is said to be that motion will be translatory motion. And when a body is circulating on a circle, as like you can see sometimes when we are going to on a road, and at some time that road becomes curved, and on that curve we go around a circle type structure, then that motion will be circular motion. Your railway track sometimes also goes on a path that is a curved structure, and in that case we can say that is a circular motion, circular type of motion. And some another type of motions are also found here, rotatory motion. Suppose there is a fixed axis means that is perpendicular on the ground, and when a body is moving around that fixed point that is known as rotatory motion. As like sun is the center of the universe, and around that sun many substances, our earth, many types of planets, they revolve around that fixed point sun. So this type of motion is rotatory motion. And here you can see that all these types of motion will be possible by the activity of force. Some type of force, some type of exertion, and some types of outer push and pull. First you will make some push or pull on an object or any type of force that is applied on a body, then that body will change its position and that body will be displaced from its position. So every type of motion needs only one type of phenomena, that is natural phenomena, and we can say physical phenomena, that is known as force. So in general definition we can say that force is the push or pull of any object. Push or pull. Push or pull. That makes an object to move on its path. That path may be translatory, may be circulatory, may be rotatory. For every type we need force, and that force is equal to, force will be equal to mass and acceleration. Mass into acceleration. Force is the product of mass and acceleration. We already know there are many types of objects. Some objects are light in weight and some objects are heavier. So that is dependent upon mass. And if the mass is heavier, then we need a greater force should be applied on that object. Suppose a big stone or big rock structure is present on the ground, then you will need in that position, in that condition, several types of people, suppose more than 10 people, and that is not possible to displace that object by any one individual, any one type of individual. So it needs a greater force that should be applied on that big mass rock-like structure. And another thing is acceleration. Here you can divide. Some physical quantities are vector quantities, some physical quantities are scalar quantities. Vector means those type of physical quantities which contain a certain direction, and in the absence of direction many substances are they move in such a condition there will be no any fixed direction for that object. In that case, we can say that quantity is a scalar quantity. Here mass is a scalar quantity, and if we consider that a speed and velocity, two types of physical quantities here, a speed and velocity. Both are same, and you can imagine that in both cases, when you are saying that one object means that may be any car, that may be any bike, and in that condition on the meter scale you always read that body, that vehicle, that substance is going on 30 km per hour. It is its speed. But when we are saying in that condition that is going 30 km per hour in the east direction, then that will become its velocity. So you can imagine and you can differentiate velocity and a speed. A speed will be not in a certain direction, and when we say that velocity, that physical quantity will be in vector quantity, and that is in a certain type of direction. So every type of motion should be divided. It will be divided into three parts, two parts. One is a scalar, one will be in a certain direction, and where the direction is not certain, direction is not fixed, that is said that is a scalar quantity, and where direction is fixed, then we can say that is a vector quantity. And in this way force is also a vector quantity. You can define that what is force, and in that case you can say that is a vector quantity, because a force is the product of mass and acceleration. Mass is a scalar quantity, but acceleration is the vector quantity. Acceleration means change in velocity, time, rate of change in velocity, rate of change in velocity. 1 minute. First you try to understand acceleration. Acceleration is that physical quantity. Acceleration is also a physical quantity like other physical quantity. Acceleration is that physical quantity is that acceleration is that physical quantity in which we take rate of change of velocity. You can say rate of change of velocity. Suppose a car is going on a road, a bike is going on a road, then you can say its initial velocity is 5 km per hour. And when you are saying that after 10 minutes, after 5 minutes, it attains a velocity of 50 km per hour, then you can say change in velocity will be 50 minus 5. Here 5 is the initial velocity by which that substance, that vehicle is started first of all, and after some time you can say 10 minutes. You can say after 10 minutes and it changes its velocity and it attains a velocity of 50 km per hour. Then change in velocity will be 45. And when you will divide it with 10, then you can say in 10 minutes its change in velocity will be 45. Change in velocity will be 45. Then we can say after dividing you will get 4.5 kilometer per minute. 4.5 kilometer per minute, it will be its acceleration. Acceleration First you try to understand this type of physical quantity, what is acceleration. Then in the case of acceleration, you can say that first you try to differentiate, first you try to subtract the final velocity with initial velocity. If you are considering the final velocity is v and initial velocity is u, then you can say v minus u. Both are v minus u will be the change in you can say that v minus u is the change in velocity, and this change in velocity when it is divided by a time period, here time period is 10 minutes, and that quantity after dividing the change in velocity you can get acceleration. So it is very clear that what is acceleration? Acceleration means rate of change in velocity. So acceleration is a vector quantity, and it will be always in a certain direction. So you can define and you can explain what is force. Force means a mass that is already going on a road and that is changing its position, changing its velocity, and that velocity is changed in a certain time interval, and when that change in velocity will be divided by time period, then you can get acceleration. And when you will multiply this acceleration with mass, then you will get force. So force, how can you define force? Force is that external condition. Force is that external condition which is applied on a body and displaces the body or try to displace. Try to displace. This is the definition of a force. Force is that external condition which is applied on a body and displaces the body, or try to displace means sometimes when we are putting sufficient force, then it will displace that body, and when we are not putting that sufficient force, then that body will not be displaced. So in this way we can define a force. Then the next term is pressure. Then next